50 years ago, a man was executed. Now, this wasn't just any ordinary man. This was the very first governor of the Benue Plateau State. His name, JD Gomwalk, or best known as JD Gomwalk. He served as governor of the state from 1967 to 1976. His visionary leadership gave birth to institutions and organizations like Nigerian Standard, University of Jos, the Jos International Breweries, Bark Farms, the Jos Metropolitan Development Board, the state-owned transport company which we now know as Plateau Express Services, Plateau State Secretariat, the Jos Main Market, the Jos Wildlife Park, the Pandam Game Reserve, the Benue Plateau Television, which was the first to broadcast color TV transmission in West Africa, and many others. He was also the visionary behind what is known as the Jos Master Plan. JD Gomwalk was literally building the state to be completely self-sustaining. In fact, in 1974, when the federal government wanted to assess the performance of the implementation of the National Development Plan across all the states, the Benue Plateau State was ranked second. See, development was just happening here left, right, and center, and this was one of the things that made the state loved by many. It is even said that during the Civil War, he set up a committee to ensure the properties of all the Igbo people in Jos were protected and well managed during that time, and that the rental income generated during this time frame was kept well and handed over to the original owners when they returned after the war. Now, this was the kind of leader that he was. Fast forward to February 1976, General Murtala Mohammed, the then head of state, was killed in a coup led by Lieutenant Colonel Buka Suka Dimka. JD Gomwalk was alleged to have been connected to the coup, and so he was arrested and tried, but nothing tangible was found against him, so he was acquitted. But a few months later, under very debatable circumstances, he was arrested again and this time tried under a different judge and was found guilty. And together with many others, he was sentenced to execution by firing squad. And just like that, this shining light was put out at the young age of 40. And sadly, his family never got the opportunity to bury the body of their beloved father. 50 years later, the average 18-year-old in Plateau State has little to no idea of who exactly JD Gomwalk was or the legacy that he built. And honestly, I still wonder why there's no museum or center that curates the history of his life, his work, and his vision as a way to immortalize him, but most importantly as a way to educate and inform future generations about this man's legacy. In another video, I'll talk about 2 or 3 of JD Gomwalk's achievements and why I feel like they are the most important of everything else that he did. If you found this interesting, please like, share, and leave a comment. And if you've got more history about this phenomenal man, feel free to share it in the comment section as well.